Well, it's come time to update my speedometer in my 87 Peterbilt. So I bought an Isspro, I think that's how you say it, Isspro, Isspro. Got this for $200 at 4 States. And so I'm gonna install this on my truck. I like the Peterbilt version better, and this one was working fine, the speedometer part, but the odometer wasn't working. And tried to do some work with the odometer, but it started going forward and then it was going backward. It's kind of those old used car dealer dreams, you know, where you start taking miles off. This wasn't the original speedometer anyway, and it did have some problems. The odometers never worked. In the glass, it was cracked when I got it. So I thought it would be good to go ahead and update the speedometer. When you do change one of these out, you do need a adapter cable. If you're gonna just use an adapter cable. These are they're $50. This is not an adapter cable. This is the cable that comes in the Peterbilt. But I'm just gonna take it and splice it and cut it because I'm not gonna spend $50 more. Now these things don't come calibrated. You do have to calibrate these things, but it's really simple to do. And if you're doing something like this, I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's really easy. All right, let's go get this thing out of here. It's been a while since I last started this thing. But one thing I like about Cummins, these old Cummins, they start right up. So nice. So one of the other things I'm having problems with right now is this airbag in the seat. I need to go ahead and get that fixed. It's got a small leak in it that only leaks when I set it at the level I'm comfortable. It's just crazy. If I set it at the level I'm comfortable, it just leaks all the way down. Then I have to air it back up. Here's the instructions, yada, yada, yada. So here's the wires we need to find. Basically, we need to find a power, the sensor wire, the dash lamp power, and then the other sensor wire. So we've got our wiring hooked back up. Turn the ignition on. First, we're gonna find the power wire. I'm just gonna go with red. I think it's red. That's a good power color. Let's see. Yep, that's power. Okay, so we'll mark that one. Now we need to find the lamp, so we'll turn the power on the lamp. I think it's gonna be this one over here. Oh yeah, that's it right there. Now I know from working on this truck so much that the white and orange wire, the 239s, those are all grounds. This is gonna be the 2-speed, we don't need it. And so the other wire is gonna be the sensor wire. 197 will be the sensor wire. All right, so now it's time to do some calibrating. It's actually pretty easy to do the calibrating on these things. Mine is gonna be for the tail-mounted magnetic sensor. If you have a different style, you're gonna have to do something different. So before we can go calibrating this, we gotta know a couple different numbers. One of them is the tire revolutions per mile. How many times that tire go around and around every mile that you travel. And it's gonna be different for your different tire sizes and different makes of tire. So you could call your tire manufacturer and they can tell you how many times it goes around. Or you can just measure it like I do a basic equation and you'll figure it out real easy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure in inches the diameter of this tire. And this is 11R 22.5. Measure it from the ground to the top. Let's see what we come up with. So it's the top of that tire there. I'm gonna call this 41.3. 41.3 inches. Okay, now that I know it's 41.3 inches in diameter, I'm gonna take the number 20,178. This is a standard number. Don't worry about where it came from. It's a standard number, no matter if you have 60 inches or 20 inches, okay? So it's 20,178 divided by 41.3. That's gonna equal 488.57. So this thing goes around basically 488.5 times every mile. I'm just gonna use 488.5. The next number I need to know is the differential ratio. Mine are 358s, that's my rear ends. I have 358s, 3.58. If you don't know it, there's a tag that should be on there that you can look it up and see what you got. But hopefully you know it. So what you do is you take the revolutions, the tire revolutions per mile, you multiply it times your rear end differential ratio, mine's 3.58, and then you multiply that by 16, and you should get a number. So, all right, so my number comes to 27,981. So what we do, on the second page of the instructions, we look up the number 27,981, and we look up the dip switch settings. So for this one, it says the dip switches that will be set to on are 2, 7, and 8. See, 2, 7, and 8 are on, the rest are off. And part of this is we got to test it, see how far it's off, and then use a different calibration method to go ahead and dial it in. I think we've got a good number. I've obviously got some work to do because the speedometer says I'm going 40, but my actual speed's only 30. So at that speed, we're 10 miles an hour off. There's a calculation or calibration to get a new number to be able to dial this thing in. And what you do is you take your old calibration number, which mine was 27,981, and you multiply it by the speed on the speedometer, which was 40 miles an hour, and then you divide that by your actual speed. So my new number is 37,308. We go in here and look up the number, and this has a lot more ons. It has 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 on. I'll write that down. Three, 4, 5, 7, and 8. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got. Okay, all right, I think we got it. Perfect. Well, I got everything dialed in, and it's working perfect. It's right in track with the GPS. So that first calibration, a little wiry, but that second one makes it perfect. Now I also have an odometer. I have a 1987 with 2.9 miles on it, if you'll believe it. Probably not, but at least going forward, I know how many miles I put on it. Anyways, that's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching the Ned Stevens channel. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button